learners, greetings of the day. I am your trainer Abhishek Ray. Today we are going to learn about introduction to procurement. The learning objective is what is procurement and its importance in the business world, various procurement needs of companies, and finally comparison and understanding the difference between procurement and purchasing. So let's start. What is procurement? Procurement is the process of buying goods and services for a company. A company needs many goods in the form of raw materials, many goods in the form of office supplies, and many services which are important for its regular running. And that is what is called as procurement. In simple terms, how companies purchase what they need to operate is procurement. We'll take two examples, quick examples. One, let's take the example of a car manufacturer. A car has many parts. One of them is tires. Do you think the car manufacturer also manufactures tires? No. It will basically procure tires from tire manufacturers, and that would be procurement of tire, which would be important for finally completing the final product, which is the car. Next is, companies have employees and employees require laptops for their regular work. So, the procurement team is responsible to procure laptops for the regular functioning of the company. It is also a part of supply chain management. Procurement is one of the function of supply chain management. It is not only restricted to buying, but it also is in planning. It is also in selecting suppliers. It is also in negotiating, and finally it is into managing purchases. So you can understand how vast is the scope of work of procurement, right from planning to identifying suppliers, selecting a few of them, then negotiating, getting the best price, getting the best quality of product, and then finally managing the purchase in terms of releasing purchase orders, we will discuss later, releasing payment, getting the inbound logistics, doing the quality check. All these are part of the procurement team. The goal is very simple: right product, right price, right quality, right time, right supplier. And this reminds you of the thing that I had said in module 1. Supply chain is like a chain. A single chain broken will cause high level of inefficiency in the entire operational cycle. Now, why is procurement important? There are many reasons. We will go step by step, and I'll try to take example on every reasons. So the first one is to ensure business continuity. Example: a car manufacturer needs tires which will result in the completed car. If your if the car manufacturer is not having tires at that point of time, then the final production of the car is delayed, and that is how the business continuity will be affected. Next, it helps reduce cost by negotiating and choosing from multiple vendor. See, negotiation is a very important part of the procurement team or the department, because by negotiation they not only ensure that they get the best quality of product, but they also ensure to get it at the lowest pricing by helping the profit margins increase. Third point is it impacts product quality, right? I'll take an example of a very famous brand of phone, that is Apple. Yes, you guessed it right, Apple phones. Let's say, I hope you know that Apple doesn't manufacture all the components of its phone. That is not possible for any company, right? So, and Apple is also famous for what? It is famous for, first, because it brings continuously innovates. So innovation is something that resembles Apple. And second is the quality that it gives with its phone, right? And this quality is ensured by the quality component sourcing that Apple does. Let us take an example wherein Then Apple releases phones, a new Apple phone in the market, and customers find out after unpacking that the camera is not functioning. That means the sourcing was wrong. Somewhere or the other, the supplier has not been able to provide the quality that was expected by the end customer of a Apple iPhone. Who is getting impacted over here? The supplier will be getting impacted, but the primary and the biggest impact happens on the brand Apple, and that is why quality becomes very, very important. Next is procurement helps support companies' profit. All the three prior points that I said, continuity of business, quality, and negotiation, these are those points which actually, when correlated, supports the company's profit. Procurement helps maintains relationship with suppliers. When a company has a very strong process in place, it helps build trust and its image in front of the suppliers, and the suppliers in turn would like to have a long term relationship with this particular company. Relationships can also be maintained by involving the suppliers in strategic decision processes. Next, procurement prevents shortage or stockouts. A very important part of procurement team is to do a forecasting. What is forecasting? Forecasting is basically try to identify what is the number of products that the company probably will be making in the next quarter, or say in the next 6 months. Based on that forecasting, procurement will identify the quantity of raw materials required and be proactive and ensure that that amount of stock is always maintained, so that the manufacturing doesn't face any disruption. Now let's look into the types of procurement needs in companies. Number one is raw materials. The example of car that I gave, I was only talking about the tire, but then there are many other components that a car manufacturer would require. If you see in today's latest cars that are coming, they have such a nice infotainment systems in place, right? Do you think that the car manufacturer is doing that? No, they are dependent on vendors who are creating such nice applications which are converted into the infotainment system for their cars. So in this case, that is also a raw material that a car manufacturing company would be procuring. Next is packaging needs. We had discussed about a exporter in Africa who exports coffees. Now coffee will not be exported without packaging, so packaging becomes very important need for the company. Third is office supplies, laptops, papers, stationaries. These are small items, but they are very important items to ensure the continuity of day-to-day work. Fourth is the big requirement, and that is machines. Big factories will require big machines, and these are going to be capital expenses. Now companies and factories are going towards automation. Even the automation items are high value and high capital equipments, so this is also taken care by the procurement team. Next is IT services, marketing, legal services. In today's world, many of the companies, especially the mid-sized companies, they do not have or like to invest in having a permanent marketing team, so they hire or buy services from marketing agencies to take care of their marketing needs. Similarly for their legal needs, similarly for IT services. If you are using a Microsoft platform, if a company is using a Microsoft platform, then they have to buy licenses from Microsoft to actually ensure that their IT work is smooth. Next comes the maintenance and repairs. So a company might have air conditioners, factories may have lifts which are required to lift their materials. These all will are maintenance intensive products, and that is where annual maintenance comes in. So your procurement team will also be responsible in terms of negotiating and getting the best AMC deal for the maintenance and repair works. Finally, we come to the part where we compare procurement and purchasing. Purchasing is the transaction, is simply the transaction of money against a product or a material or a service received. It is only looking after the part of releasing a purchase order, making the payment transfer as per the terms of payment, and looking after once the material is received. Whereas procurement is very large. It is the whole strategy plus decision making. As we have discussed, it starts right from planning, identifying, releasing purchase orders, checking the quality, ensuring the inbound logistics. So it's a huge thing, and that is the difference between purchasing and procurement. We can easily say that purchasing is a part of procurement. Now, let's have a look at the activities involved in procurement. First, it starts with identifying the needs. The procurement team has to proactively see what and where and when is required. So that is a proactive need identification. One more thing happens is that sometimes even requisitions or requirements are sent from other departments to the procurement teams, wherein they come to know, okay, this particular department requires these particular products for their continuation of business. Next comes searching of suppliers, a very important part. They actually search suppliers based on the specifications that they require and the brands that are available out there in the market. Once suppliers are found, they are requested to send quotations. Ideally, a procurement would need multiple quotations, which they will now evaluate. And this is also a way of evaluating the suppliers by comparing the prices that are being offered, by comparing the specifications, by comparing the delivery time, I mean, by comparing the warranty and the guarantee that is being offered. Once the suppliers are identified, now comes the negotiation part, where cost is at the top of their mind. They want to maximize the profit but not compromising on quality. Once the negotiation is done, they will issue a purchase order. Here I will take a moment to explain you what is purchase order, because you have been hearing about this for quite some time. So purchase order, you can in a very simple way understand, is the legal document between the buyer and the seller. A purchase order will state all the things: what is the product, what is the quantity of product, what is the specification, what is the time period, what is the price, what is the terms of payment, are there any advances to be paid, everything, what is the tax applicability, everything will be there in the purchase order. So it is a legal document between the seller and the buyer. Once the goods are received, which is also a part of the procurement team, now they will process the payment after checking the quality of the products that are received. So in a very simple manner, I would like you to think of procurement as running a household. If you want to cook dinner, you don't just run to the shop and buy anything. You decide the menu, check which shop gives good quality and price. Maybe ask your regular shop for discount. Buy the items, check them when you reach home, and keep the bill for later. Companies do the exact same thing, just on a much larger scale, with more people involved and with a proper process in place. That is procurement. Now, finally, in the nutshell, we summarize this session. We have learned about procurement and its importance in business world, procurement needs for companies, and how procurement and purchasing are different. I hope this session would be fruitful for you. Let's meet in the next session. Till then, happy learning.